All the news right here. Don't go away.
What's up, everybody? I'm dyeing my hair. I'm a little far away or close, depending on how loud my voice sounds to the microphone. It's going to be a little bit different today, this video format, because, well, not just because I'm dyeing my hair. It's like the reason why I'm dyeing my hair. It's the reason why I'm making this video. It's the reason why, I want you to like listen to me and pay a little bit of attention. So lately, there's been a admittance of faults, if you will, the fault of steroids, the fault of migration, the fault of religions, etc., etc. And these have combined into a divide in humanity: those who are and those who aren't. And it's very, very polarizing. It's almost um, illuminating. It's kind of like you have those glasses from the movie. Um, they're here or something. I fucking forget the name of the movie. With the aliens, and then you put the glasses on, and then you realize like a bunch of people are just like these nefarious aliens from outer space and stuff, and the whole idea of like the us versus them is all due to the fact of insecurities and stuff. And like we kind of always knew this, that like people who are born with afflictions were always going to be the most insecure of us. And they were going to never really give up on those insecurities, and then we have to all suffer for it. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you all to be the most, well, for me, I guess flamboyancy works in my favor. But I want you all to treat like your life kind of like simulate a war inside of your like existence right now, as a way to prepare yourself for what's to come. Like what's to come now is almost almost like so dire and so manic that people don't understand the full ramifications of it. For years, we have seen the drumming beat of indoctrination, specifically geared towards the younger generation kids, but also highly impressionable individuals. And I would argue that category extends to the Disney kids, music artists, people who are at the mercy of drug addiction, drug problems, etc., etc. I say that while that's I'm a worthy source of information. Right after news, we cure cancer and asthma. I mean, we don't cure cancer. Sorry about that. No, we don't. We can't cure cancer. Sorry, we avoid cancer and asthma with my asthma medication. We avoid it. See, because if you cough less, there's less chance that you get the cancer. But we have to also understand like why things are happening the way they're happening. And it's all about the numbers. It's the numbers game. First, we're being badgered and harassed by the older generations, the governments, corporations, private interest groups, not only to have an excessive amount of kids and family and basically be financially indebted to the system. So you're constantly paying out taxes for like various things you buy for your kids and stuff. You're basically rooted to the ground. Like you can't really do jack shit with your money. Like you can't leave the country. You can't really, whatever, right? And obviously, you're going to vote for the most socialist, person running because they're going to offer the most shit for your kids. They're going to say, vote for me, I'll give you this type shit, right? At least, that was the plan up until today. Nowadays, people are a little bit more educated. At least we hope, obviously, like there is the whole idea of the other numbers game, and that is the generation of children who are too uneducated and too um, fractured, for lack of a better word, to enter into the job force reasonably and make profit and pay for their house and whatever. And I call these the conqueror generation or the pod generation. You know, people who are very much this weird abstract realization that even though at first glance you think it's inhumane, like having them around power lines or gas lines or any form of influence around any other person's property or like well-being is a detriment, and like we're better off just having these people go in the pod, right? You have this guy named Hamza, and it's funny how like Rehab Room has basically gotten his redemption arc, even though like no, he is pretty much redeemed in my eyes because he was right about the oofy doofies. He's right about a lot of things, and yeah, even though he's like living in his own world, I think he's in Germany to be honest. He was like showing me this like Instagram page, and I'm like, wait a minute, look at this language. Well, it makes a lot of sense then, actually. Excuse me. But he, at least initially, when he was branding himself as Incel TV, he would talk about Hamza sporadically here and there, and also like have a high amount of praise for him because it's like I don't think he realizes this. And over here in North America specifically, I don't know anybody who likes Hamza or who's a Hamza fan or whatever. Maybe some like little impressionable kids and shit, but like I don't know a single person who like whatever is down with that guy. That being said, like I'm not trying to like hate on his success. His success is well, it's inorganic. You can't say that it's inorganic, like organic. Like it's organic in the sense that he worked at it and he did it, but it's inorganic in the sense that he's on the juice, he's on the roids, he's on the sauce that we all got to like acknowledge about this idea of subhumans, right? Now I was watching this like random fitness YouTuber. I actually forget his name. Shoot, let me go back and check. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so his name is Atlas Power Shrugged. Atlas Power Shrugged, all one word. And he's like, why Peter Thiel wants you to take TRT. Now, a little like history with Peter Thiel was that he was in communication, or at least it was speculated he was in communication with Clavicular. And boy, I got a huge, well, 19-minute video, so I might as well like address it. So I think it was like mistaken. Like there's no proof that he knowingly did this, but Clavicular kissed a trans female, so that means a male pretending to be a female, I guess. And it's all come out. Like it's all like become like woefully apparent. Like it's not just him. Apparently, Myron is coming out and saying that like if you want a woman to live with you, that's gay. And it's just like shit, man. Like what do you? Why are you getting at it like this? Why you? What do you want? And then you realize that like this is the end plan, is after they take your money and after like you get the results and you're looking in yourself in the mirror for the upteenth time and you're like, you're so full of yourself. You look at your like your muscles, your abs and shit. You're like your whatever percentage body fat and shit, and you realize that like, you're just serving a master. The pharmaceutical companies, these AI mega giants, it's all about controlling the human condition. They're playing the numbers game and they're winning. They've been winning for years. Excuse me. So, in order to defeat them, you have to become a glitch in the system, a glitch in their matrix, if you will. Taking a page from like Andrew Tate, but like being more literal about it, not some like, bullshit placebo. Like, think about like what I'm saying by being a glitch in their system. It's like I get the I guess I fostered it over the years and I still remember the first day I put it on. It was like my fishnet gloves, fingerless, and I put it on and I was just like shaking because it's just like I knew what this meant. Like once I started doing this, I can never go back. And even to this day, like I have negative side effects about my masculinity, like if my facial hair is too thick, if my if I have too much body hair and it's visible, or like what's another one? Another weird one is like my toe hairs, because I don't know, for some reason like they grow pretty long, but also they like to get caught in socks, so they're always like twisted up or like whatever, they're like curly. I have to cut them all off because it just like makes me feel weird. Right, at least with the clothes that I wear and like how I feel and stuff. And I guess for other people, it will be like different, like how much muscles you have, how much you could lift every day after day. Like, and I take this for granted, like how much hair you have. And like, I get it now. It's like a struggle of these generations, like the younger generation, a generation younger than mine, and I think Generation Z, where not only do they have like the hyper aging and stuff due to like I'd say COVID, like the whole stress that the world was possibly going to end and they were just going to be like helpless at the mercy of government, people with guns and stuff. It's a lot like that game. What's it called? Where you're like in an apartment building and then whatever. So to be this glitch, right? You kind of have to be like a dark mirror to masculinity, You have to be like something that masculinity is, but also hates, like the rebellious spirit, the almost manic lust, if you will. It's a wartime situation because every single avenue that you think it's possible has been infiltrated by people who seek to control you. So let's say the fashion industry, right? Like you take male fashion templates and you slowly realize that they're kind of like putting you in a corner fashion wise. This obviously doesn't apply to everybody, but if you look at most guys out there, they're not necessarily happy with the clothes that they wear. They just throw it on because they're just like, the freedom of having, you know, that ability to express yourself in fashion. It's just like I wouldn't say it's um, a quality that's lost on people. There's also like it's something that like I think most guys like guys in specificity, right? Because it's like I think girls have an easier time navigating it. When it comes to like at least for me, right? And I think this is the case with like a lot of guys out there, is that you have a family and you have an older sibling that's a guy, right? And he'll just give you clothes and you just wear those. And it just saves on like the clothes that you're gonna wear. And that influences like the clothes that you're gonna like, put on and like buy and how you dress and all that shit. After a while, you realize it's a prison, right? Because it's like you were never expressing yourself. You were always expressing someone else. And like by the time you even realize like all the damage has been done. And either you do what I do and you like reset or like you chase the aesthetics. Like I'm trying to chase the aesthetics myself. Like I think like the biggest threshold was going beyond the idea that like I'm gonna be counting reps and shit, which a lot of times like results in my injury. But I don't know. I think like when you have to like counter that between the desperation of not knowing whether you did enough, I take my chances with that over just half-assing it, if you will. Just to get the feeling out of like how much I can do. Play the numbers game, right? Like knowing that you do stuff like this should be enough in and of itself, and you just check out, just do the reps. I watch YouTube or whatever. That's a problem too, right? Is that if you're gonna be natty, it's like an uphill battle, and it's worth it, obviously, but it's hard. And you have to also, consider like what is your operational limit, what is the amount of like, protein you could absorb. I think that like inevitably most guys will come to the term of reality that like it's both. It's like the way you look is also like the way you fight and how much stamina you'd have overall, because it kind of feeds into that positive feedback loop, which I think that like these guys like Hamza prey on. Like they say that like, okay, my life has vastly improved with steroids, right? He just comes out and says it, right? The problem with that is it's a reliance on someone else. It's just another form of subscriptions, right? Like we talk about like, Sony's like, saying that like, we want to increase your subscription service fees. Nintendo's increasing the price of their console. Steam is like, you just pay up front, right? Like everybody's just very money driven, and that's why it's very important to like adhere to that, because it's not going to go away. I know everybody wants it to go away, and it's like it's something that we argue about now. But when it becomes normal, and it's like that kind of like slow death that you feel on the inside, because there's always going to be like that media that everybody still has, like those old consoles, those old, whatever, and you're just like, jamming it up. Nostalgic for the past, if you will. But the future's here. Got to play the numbers game. You know, I thought about it too, right? Like developing games back in the day cost so much money. Even if you like, were successful, could you even break even? I'm lucky to be alive today, right? Just gotta play the numbers game. Can't, bullshit your way to the top. Accept everything that comes your way. All the protein, all the calories, and the effort that it takes to utilize it. Thank you for listening to my Sunday chat, ladies and gentlemen. Take care.